What's good, YouTube? You're back on S Motorsports. Today, we're finally taking the Trans Am for a drive with the new QA1 suspension. Alright guys, like I said, today it's nice enough finally in Wisconsin that I can take the Trans Am for a test drive, as I've been waiting to do this all winter. So we got the full QA1 suspension, front and rear, and obviously the new interior, the new Brom racing seats, they're feeling good. I did a quick alignment on the car, and I think we are ready to take it for a drive and just get my first impressions of what and how the car handles, as I haven't driven it yet with obviously the new suspension and the subframe connectors. So I just want to get a feel of how does this thing drive now with all these upgrades I did over the winter. So to start off, I have the QA1 shocks, both front and rear, basically at the lowest setting, kind of per QA1's suggestions on like some of their previous videos and stuff like that. They said basically to start at the softest and then, you know, drive it a little bit, go 3 clicks up roughly, you know, and then do another 3 clicks up, so you can kind of get a feel of what the suspension and shocks do as you turn them up. So that's what I'm going to do. Right now I have them on their lowest setting, you know, 0 for all of them, you know, both rebound and compression. So yeah, let's get the car fired up and see how this thing runs and drives now. Let's start it up, cold start. All right guys, I got excited and forgot to hit record. So I'm out driving. Definitely got some work to do on the tune yet. My steering wheel is way off. So I will have to take this in to get an alignment, to get everything straightened out like it should be. Still, honestly, pretty loud in the car. I'm kind of surprised that it isn't quieter. But my muffler choice is not really a quiet muffler either. Doesn't feel too bad, even basically with nothing in the, you know, no compression or nothing in the shocks yet. Feels different with the smaller steering wheel, that's for sure. Definitely feels like the car is pretty well connected. Obviously, we have to turn up the shocks a little bit, because obviously full soft is not where they need to be at, but it's more of about to be able to see the improvement. I mean, I'm surprised though by the spring rate. It honestly feels like I'm on a pretty bumpy road right now, and it honestly feels like I'm floating over the road, which is kind of insane, because I remember before, I mean, this thing was kind of harsh. So, man, in its softest setting, it definitely soaks up these bumps, because this is not a smooth road. And it honestly feels like a pretty smooth ride. That's interesting. This steering wheel is really annoying though. the garage here quick, make a few adjustments on the shocks, and we'll take it out again to see what difference it makes. All right, we'll see you back there. All right, guys, so I was having some issues. The transmission wasn't shifting right. I don't know what was going on. I did change some things over the winter with like pressures and stuff, and I don't know if that was doing it. I did flash it back to an old tune, and now it seems to be working. But I got all sorts of issues. It seems like my steering wheel is shaking. So not sure what's going on there. I'll have to make sure stuff is tight. Now it is shifting though. So I did adjust the shocks a little bit. I did like 2 clicks on the compression, 2 on the rebound. Still feels pretty decent. Alright guys, it's the next day. I'm working in the garage already, but I wanted to shoot a quick outro for testing the QA1 suspension, as it honestly performed very well and I'm very happy with it. And I want to fill you in exactly what was happening with the car. I was having some issues with it shifting. For some reason, it wasn't shifting into second gear. Now I did replace the transmission harness in there because it was leaking over winter. So I replaced it with not a Rotella, but it's like a, I don't know, it was a good name brand transmission replacement harness internal to the transmission. So I sealed that all up, and honestly, the first time around the block, it worked great. And then I adjusted the throttle a little bit to try and bring my IAC counts down. I did a throttle reset, but I think that's maybe what screwed it up. And looking through the data logs, I can't find anything that shows otherwise, that the transmission wasn't happy. So I'm not really sure what happened. So I am gonna replace the TPS sensor with an AC Delco brand, as the one I have on here is from FBody. And I feel like there may be some issues. I feel like I've watched videos where, you know, not being AC Delco has caused issues. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys have had any experiences with that. But I'm gonna replace it with an AC Delco one to see if that helps any issue. But maybe I just needed to do a better reset. Maybe I didn't leave it unplugged long enough. But yeah, but to talk about the car, how it performed, it honestly performed very, very well. You could definitely tell that I drove over that section of road that normally is very bumpy, but with the shock set at the softest setting, it was honestly like riding a Cadillac. It was surprisingly smooth through that bumpy road area. Even then, I did drive it at least one other time around the block with the shocks turned up. I think I had them only on like compression 2 and rebound like 4. I have turned them up now again. It's definitely raining all weekend, so I won't be able to test that out. But even at that lower setting 2 and 4, it was still really, really smooth. I was honestly surprised. So the ride feels really good, and honestly, it feels pretty connected already without even the shocks very much dialed in. It will be interesting to see as I turn the shocks up more how more responsive it is, but already I'm pretty happy. I do have to get in alignment, as that didn't help when the steering wheel is off and you're trying to drive straight. Just kind of messes with your head a little bit. So I do have to get that, make sure that it, handles good, because if the alignment's off, that's not gonna help. So honestly, I'm super happy with how this turned out for the first drive anyways, besides the transmission issues. Hopefully that's nothing big, but super happy with the first drive of the QA1 suspension. So stay tuned, as we're gonna keep tuning this thing and getting it ready for power tour, and it's gonna be pretty fun, I think. And I have a good buddy coming along for the power tour. He's excited to ride in the Trans Am as well. So stay tuned for all of that, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.